So POVMs are an interesting special case for a variety of reasons, and I want to give you one. So let's see the example of, let's revisit the example of distinguishing quantum states. So quantum state distinguishability. We had this last time or 2 times ago, I forget. And we showed that in the case that quantum states are orthogonal, we are able to construct a measurement which perfectly distinguishes them. But that's the only case. And in general, if they're not orthogonal, we weren't able to do this reliably, meaning that if Alice sends an example quantum state to Bob, Bob cannot construct a measurement which will determine the quantum state with perfect probability, with probability 1. Let's see what POVMs have to say about this. It's going to be the same outcome. We're still not going to be able to perfectly distinguish states, but we're going to be able to say something slightly more subtle or interesting, if you will. So remember, we were working with the example psi1 being the 0 state, cut 0, and psi2 being the plus state, which you know as 0 plus 1 over the square root of 2. And these are not orthogonal, so we weren't able to construct a measurement in the third postulate as originally stated, which could perfectly distinguish these. For the case of POVMs, it's going to be the same, but we're going to have something interesting happen as well. So consider the POVM defined as follows. I'm going to have 3 elements, E1, E2, and E3. E1 is going to be defined as a coefficient, square root of 2 over 1 plus the square root of 2, times the outer product, ket 1, with itself. E2 is going to be defined as another coefficient, the same one, root 2 over 1 plus root 2. Then I'm going to do the projector onto the minus state. Projector onto the minus state. And you should remember what the minus state is. It's the same as the plus state, but with a minus sign instead of the plus. These are the only 2, really. The last one I just need for the completeness relation. So this I'll take to be identity minus E1 minus E2. This, you can see, will satisfy the completeness relation that we need. And take my word for it now that, and you should be able to show that both of these are positive operators, so this will indeed define a valid POVM. Why did we define the measurement outcomes in this way? Well, notice that psi1, E1, psi1 is going to be equal. Could anyone look at this and tell me what this evaluates to? E1 is, it's essentially the projector onto the 1 state. There's some coefficient. And then psi1 is the 0 state. This one will be 0, exactly right. So in this case, if E1, outcome 1, is ever measured, it never could have been psi1. Do you agree? That's what this is saying. In other words, the state must have been psi2. Outcome 1 has no probability of being measured in the state psi1. Therefore, if E1 is measured, the state must have been psi2. Does everyone agree? So this means that if E1 is measured, we must have psi2. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the measurement operator E sub 2 with the state psi2. So this is the first thing. Now let's compute psi2, E2, psi2. Can anyone tell me what this one evaluates to? Second POVM element, projector onto the minus state, and then there's some coefficient, but that doesn't really matter. And then the state psi2 itself is the plus state. So you're familiar with 0 and 1 being orthogonal. You answered this one quickly. Plus and minus are also orthogonal. Make sure you can see this from the definition. Plus state, and then if we need to, minus state, I'll write it. 0 minus 1 over root 2. So these states will be orthogonal, therefore this one will be 0 as well. So in other words, by the same reasoning, if E2 is ever measured, we must have psi1. Okay. So that's nice. There's some times that we can be sure of what happened, but we also have the third POVM element. We have E sub 3. And in this case, for E sub 3, there's a non-zero probability for either state, so we can't say anything. We can't say with certainty what psi was sent. Remember, we set up the protocol so that Alice was sending a state to Bob. Bob was trying to determine what it was. So you can think of this as we are now sometimes able to perfectly distinguish between the states, but we still have this E sub 3 operator where if that one's measured, I can't say anything. It could have been psi1 or psi2. On the other hand, if E1 was measured, I know for sure it was psi2. If E2 was measured, I know for sure it was psi1. So another interesting thing about quantum theory, still can't perfectly distinguish the states. With POVMs, we're able to sometimes perfectly distinguish the states.